I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the most sacred dog breed ever to exist?
As in one that we all look at universally and go, let's protect it?
Yes.
Or like...
kind of like from a godly sense. When you look at a dog, which one gives you the most sort of divine vibe?
So, like, basically, what you're saying is what dog is closest to a cat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a cat person, John?
No.
I would not
Well,
consider... Cats themselves think they're fucking godly. I
The
don't think
attitudes
humans
with
think
cats-
cats are godly.
excuse
Egyptians, aside from the Egyptians...
There's an
Yes.
entire fucking civilization,
All right,
Dave.
aside from the
Yes.
Egyptians, I think anyone else outside of Egypt does not think cats are godly.
Oh, what about
I think
why?
Chinese culture puts cats like relatively up there.
They put pigs up there too.
Yeah,
They
They have
put
12
everything
different-
up there.
They have 12 different animals that they put in every single year that are
Wait, so
different.
you,
I think
so
it's
you
great.
guys
I
don't
think
have a
that's great.
solid answer when you think of that?
I was going to say, like, I think everyone fucking holds the pug into such a high regard.
Well, that's wrong because
I'm
pugs are dying all the
No, I'm
time.
gonna
But
say-
I have the suggestion for you.
I
I have
reckon
the
it-
answer.
I want to say one. The Saint Bernard. For
Okay.
two reasons.
It's because it's
For two-
called Saint.
First of all, because it's called Saint. That's pretty fucking godly. But secondly, that's the little one with the little barrel of
Yeah, that delivers you things.
That delivers you. It
Yeah.
literally saves your life.
in
When you look
Sweden-
up at that thing, you're having a pretty fucking religious experience
Well,
because
you're wrong.
your life is
The
saved.
Look,
internet
you have
would-
an answer.
A chow chow?
Oh.
You're wrong.
Oh,
No.
and this is for the internet. The internet will say Doge.
They
so
will.
like the Shiba Inu is what that dog specifically is.
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
No, Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
Wrong.
What about
okay,
corgis?
so the
What about
internet's
Okay.
wrong.
What about corgis?
Wrong.
Okay.
Love a good corgi.
It
Me
is the Chihuahua.
Okay.
Colloquially
They have
known
got
as,
a-
I call it the Chihuahua,
Okay.
because did you know that Chihuahuas are descendants of 9th century Mayan hamsters?
Hamsters.
Specifically, the favored companion hamsters of Mayan royalty.
So wait, are they technically not dogs? They're
They
hamsters?
technically are dogs, but there was a weird
So a
crossover
dog
period.
fucked a hamster at some point?
Probably. The Mayans were weird.
I don't think that had anything to
So
do with the
basi-
Mayans. Have you met dogs?
I know.
I think the Mayans are not. I think two Mayans might have come along one day and gone, dude, what the hell's Bruce doing? I don't
Yeah.
know. What is that thing?
What is it? What's
What is he
happening?
doing
Oh my
to
God.
it? Oh my god. That's a bit fucked. Yeah. Oh, I don't
But
know.
in my deep dive of Googling for like an hour into this, because I have no life.
What dog would have fucked that hamster then? Do you know
That's what I
that
mean.
initial
What-
breed?
Yeah.
Because some big dogs would not be able to
The
fuck that
hamsters
hamster.
were called
Like-
the hamster favored companion hamster was called the Tachichi.
Okay.
was that a bigger hamster? Like, did we have photos?
It was like this big. So
No, okay, so it was
basically
bigger.
like
So we could
a foot,
take a
2
dog's-
foot tall.
All right, yeah.
So it basically was a dog, but it was technically a
Oh.
hamster.
So okay.
Well, hang on a minute. You're assuming that it was the hamster getting fucked. What if the hamster was doing the fucking? I mean, you've seen how small chihuahuas are.
Oh, but I don't consider dogs to be the bottom of any animal species.
And
Oh,
maybe
no,
that's why
you've never met some
Chihuahuas
bottom
are
dogs.
so mad.
No, I'm saying dogs within their own species can be bottom dogs, but
Yeah.
dogs when they're fucking other species are not bottom dogs.
See, I think that Chihuahuas are really mad because they think back to when they used to get fucked by hamsters.
Yeah,
and
that
they
might
look
be
at
why they
hamsters
bought-
now and they're like, why do I feel so demasculated?
That's
That's
true.
the word.
They might-
Emasculated
that
right
might be
now.
why they might have started out as bottom dogs and they've never gotten over it. Yeah, that's true.
Let's be honest though, of the hierarchy of dogs, Chihuahuas are totally the bottom dog.
They are. No, they absolutely
the
are.
Bitch of
But
dogs.
if we ever have an apocalypse
That's just because
that
of
is
the
caused by
size,
ancient
Dave.
Aztec
Yeah.
gods,
Not everything's about size.
When it comes to dogs, everything's about size.
it is.
Well,
Yeah, no, when it comes to
Apples and
dogs.
oranges, really.
They haven't got a complex mind to think beyond size.
I've
A
seen.
Saint Bernard would not lay down for a Chihuahua.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
word,
I saw
chihuahuas
a
are
video
terrifying.
the other day of a small dog trying to jump on a Newfoundland dog, which is a massive. It looks like a Labrador that ate a Labrador.
Well, to JJ's point, Chihuahuas are fucking fucked up. They'll fucking fight anyone. Chihuahua will fight a human.
This wasn't. Yeah, but anyway.
Chihuahuas are scary. So, but basically, I asked the question about divine dogs because basically, with my research, I found out that if, in my opinion, from what I read, if you grab a Chihuahua and there's ever like a Mayan Aztec caused apocalypse, like 2012 or something like that, you're going to be safe if you have a Chihuahua because they won't touch you because you've got their favorite companion hamsters.
Huh. I think that's actually an interesting take.
I've saved many lives today. You're welcome.
And with that, welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a beer and a chat into a tax write-off. I'm your host, John McLeish, and I just got mine fucked. And joining me this week, joining us once again, the wonderful JJ. JJ, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be back, boys.
And of course, series regulars, Lachlan Beasley and David Yang. Boys, welcome.
John.
Lachlan,
David.
JJ.
David.
JJ.
Good moment. All right, let's jump in.
Doctor.
Doctor.
All right. Well, I mean, after that, we've talked about sort of divine dogs and divinity and God and really, I feel like in all of this sanctity, I have to place myself within confession. I need to make an apology.
Okay. I'm strapped in, John.
Yeah. So
I'm ready.
Just tuck my shirt in anticipation.
Yeah. So I got to.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, they didn't need to know that.
I'm not going to let you live out a
the
lie.
fourth wall. That is inside baseball right out the window.
I'm not letting you live a lie.
Yeah,
I'm tucking my shirt
actually,
in.
That's true, especially when I'm like in the mood for confession. You can't be lying while I'm in my confession.
You can't undermine
Come on,
John's
bro.
I'm
confession
not
in any
hearing
way.
it.
Be cool.
Continue.
Anyway, so a few years ago, this would have been 2-3 years ago, Hideo Kojima, regularly credited as the creator of the Metal Gear Solid series, was fired from Konami and went, screw you, I'm going to start my own game studio with blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget the blackjack. And so he did that, and I was like, that's never going to happen. It's never going to work. He announced the game. He was like, I'm going to make this game. It's called Death Stranding. And it's got Norman Reedus and a magic fetus. I was like, cool. This is never going to happen. This is never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. Like, I'm positive the reason why Konami fired him was based on pure economics. Like, the amount of money that he was spending on making Metal Gear Solid 5 was more than Metal Gear Solid 5 was expected to make in returns. So it was like column X was becoming greater than column Y. And so he got the sack. And so with that in mind, when he started his own company, I thought, well, that's it. The chains are off. Like, he can just go buck. He's a kid in a candy store and he owns the store. Like, he's gonna go broke. Just he's gonna go mad trying to do stuff. And especially because he then moved to America and started a studio in Santa Monica. And Santa Monica is an expensive place to like do anything. And I was like, well, I don't think this is gonna happen. And then earlier this month, he brought out Death Stranding. It happened. It's a thing. In fact, I was so confident that Death Stranding was never going to come out. I thought Cyberpunk 2077 was going to come out beforehand, which was another game that was like, it'll be ready when it's ready, was their tagline. And now that's coming out after Death Stranding. So how about that? So this is me apologizing. Hideo-san, I apologize. I don't know how to say that in Japanese.
Do you want me to learn when I'm over there, then come back and
Yeah,
tell
if you could, actually, if
apology?
you see him over there, just be like, Hideo, mate. Yeah, John says he's sorry. Like, he's bad, bro. Like, next time you're over, he owes you a jug of beer.
I got you. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'll pass
yeah.
on the message.
Yeah, I'll even spring for the good stuff. I'll buy him a jug of Furphy. How about that?
What made you think that he wasn't going to release it? Is it all the pushbacks?
No, it was straight up economics.
You
like,
just thought maybe like because there's too much hype behind Hideo for this game.
He's just spending too much.
no, spending too much money.
Spending too much.
And it wasn't
Like,
projected
that's
to
what I
make
mean.
that
Like,
much.
okay, so like, I mean, I think it was Metal Gear Solid 2. Right, he as the game designer for that was like, I don't think the combat mechanic of this game is very good. We need to make it better. How do we make it better? I know. I'll take everybody at Konami and fly them across the world to Texas or somewhere, and we will all go through close quarter battle training. So, like, you've got a bunch of developers and like admin staff as well who had nothing to do with the game. Like, the janitor was in a kill house learning how to like take down terrorists in hallways, right? But that wasn't good enough. He had to go and do that again. So they went and did that twice, right? That's a lot of money to spend on a video game.
I agree.
Right?
I agree. But
that's
especially
just
for a research.
that's yeah.
kind of-
But like, and if it was just a
Component.
small group of like the people who were specifically
like main
working on
game devs involved, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
but it was like the devs who were working on the combat mechanics of the game. Yeah, sure. And even the artists and stuff. Okay, sure. But he took everybody.
that's fair. Okay.
That's like, okay, that's too much money.
But I agree
right?
with that methodology practice because like games is now like it's not going to overtake movies, but in terms of the economics that it pulls in as a
it
worldwide
has
industry-
overtaken movies.
Oh, but there, okay,
Years,
fair
it did
enough.
it,
Yeah.
They did it about 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, there you go then. Like
Yeah.
the world economics of games is fucking huge
Yeah.
to the point where doing that is almost going to become common practice for game devs because they need to. That game, Metal Gear Solid 2, because of that, was so immersive and brilliant for its time. It's what put Hideo on the map.
Oh, absolutely.
As this transcending game developer who's broken out of just this technological medium where it's purely just code
Absolutely.
and has made it involving and immersive within reality. Same movies, they do like set designs and shit to make actors actually do that. game developers are now doing that as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the medium that they exist in. And that's why Hideo is so brilliant.
Mm.
And then to do it with this, I never thought he was... I completely knew he was going to do this game because I think there's just that much hype to his name that it just couldn't have failed.
Well, no, but I thought it would because, like I said, not through anything, like not through any technical reason, not through any design like I wasn't doubting the man's skills, right? What I was doubting was he's an artist, not a businessman.
Yeah,
what I was
okay, that's
in my
true.
head,
This is him
right?
starting
That's
his
what
own.
And he's starting his own, but like before, Konami took care of all of that. Right? Konami took care of payroll. Konami took care of taxes. Konami took care of like keeping the lights on. Right? All he had to do was make the video game. Right? Which is what he's very good at doing. So that's fine. Now he has to do all of that and make the video game. And I thought that he didn't have the skills to do that because the man spends money like it's going out of fashion. Right? And when you're a startup, you don't have a lot of money to spend. You don't have a lot of runway. And he was moving across the planet to do that. And
it was a luxurious cost.
It was a luxurious. Now, to be fair, Sony was helping him out with that,
Yeah,
and I think,
massively.
there were probably, I think, in the years to come, we'll find out there was some more business decisions going on in relation to this game, like things that he's done to get the money flowing, like the fact that there's Monster energy drinks all over the video game. I am positive that was paid for by Monster. I'm positive that there were millions spent, and he used that just straight up. He was like, great, that's the electricity bill paid, right? Like, I don't think he made a profit off of any of these deals. I think it was just to keep the doors open
I think
so he could get the game
the
out
brilliance
the
that
door.
will come out of this case study is that he managed to leverage his name to make this.
Absolutely.
Right? And it was X amount of millions that went into production purely for a man who just left.
Yeah.
What was the
Konami. Yeah.
He literally just left Konami with money, only his personal money in his pocket, managed to leverage only his name to make this AAA game himself.
But he also
with a team.
he didn't do it. It's not a publicly traded company either. It's all private. So he doesn't have. I don't think he has any investors.
Yeah.
Or well, okay.
He can. He has shareholders.
I think he
but
has. Yeah. Well, I think Sony might have investments in Kojima Productions. Maybe Monster does. I doubt it though. I think Monster just was like, we want to advertise. And that's not hard because you just make a cylinder, slap a texture on it, done. So yeah, no, but he did it. He got it out the door. It's on shelves. You can go and buy it right now. And he's got everybody in it. He's got all the stars. Mads Mikkelsen and Norman Reedus and what's the name? Guillermo del Toro and like bloody everybody.
Yeah, see, I have a different opinion to this.
Yeah.
I am convinced that if Silent Hills got made, Death Stranding would never have existed.
Oh, I agree, because they wouldn't have got Norman Reedus.
And they wouldn't have got Guillermo del Toro again.
True.
That whole collaboration from that cancelled game is the reason why Death
It
Stranding
opened up
exists.
both their production schedules to allow that to happen.
Exactly. So
Well-
if Silent Hills and PT didn't get cut, we wouldn't have Death Stranding, which I think is really
I see what you mean.
interesting.
So if Konami got fired, but Konami was still like, we're going to go ahead with PT, then Death Stranding wouldn't happen.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that
Okay.
Silent Hills team are the people who made Death Stranding.
Oh, really? Did
Yeah.
he took the whole team?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just him on his own and he hired.
Ballsy play
It's a
from
ballsy
Hideo.
play.
Okay.
Ballsy.
Yeah, no, that's
The entire
some-
reason it got cancelled, part of it was because Kojima was going to get everyone to leave.
Oh, wow.
That's part of the reason why Konami's like,
Oh, okay. I thought
converse opinion.
I thought it was
just think it's really
economics.
interesting.
I thought it was like,
It was
column
a
X
lot.
is
It was a
greater.
mixture of a lot of things.
Yeah. I can't imagine that would help. Like, I imagine they'd be looking at the books and going, this guy's fucking expensive and he wants to take half of our guys. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes
But
sense.
look what he's done.
No,
Like
that's
this-
what I mean. And that's
No,
why
no,
I'm
almost
here.
giving it,
I'm
yeah.
here eating a slice of humble pie, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here eating my hat. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're moving into this realm now where like we're considering game developers in this tier alongside like movie directors and stuff. Like before Hideo actually probably even started it with Metal Gear 2, where
Yeah,
he
I
was
feel like he
really
kinda
held
kicked
in
it off.
regard
Yeah.
as our industry or the game industry
Yeah.
is equivalent to like one of the big directors at the time. Right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Sam Lake came through when he did like
No, I feel like Cliffy B came through.
yeah,
before then.
probably. Like we can start. It's going to get to a point where we can
Unreal.
start naming these names
Oh, actually, not-
alongside.
Before both of them, John Romeo
Yes. Oh my God. True. Fuck.
with Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. So but even then, like John was big in game circles. Hideo broke out of that.
Hideo broke out.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Hideo broke out, but so did Cliffy B. Like Cliffy B kind of broke out as well as like, oh, he's like a big guy in games, but nobody knew what game it was if you weren't in games. But like Hideo, I think Hideo is largely the same. It's like, oh, he made video games, but he's a big.
But Hideo is
guy.
different because he actually leaned into it.
He did.
Hideo is the only one I've seen that has taken his status and thoroughly leaned into it and credited it within entertainment. Because he hangs out with actual movie stars, hangs out with actual directors. That's where he gets a lot of his inspiration. He is now a part of that. He's moved games into that echelon now. Alongside partnering right beside movies and television. Where we start looking at things and going like, oh, that's a nice show. I can name you the characters and shit, but I can also name you the director. I can also name you the director of that movie because that director is who I follow. Well, now it's the same for Kojima.
Yeah, that's
it's like,
true.
I'm not thinking about what Norman Reedus' name in the game is anymore. I know Norman Reedus is in it because he's an actor. He already exists in that realm. But I can tell you who directed that game. It was Hideo Kojima.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like with that, people can remember the quote unquote movie poster for that game. It's like it's a Hideo Kojima game, right? Like a Spike Lee joint featuring Norman Reedus, right? It's like kind of how it goes. Or Norman Reedus directed by Hideo Kojima. It's like another way people might remember that.
I love seeing this within
games.
I mean?
Yeah,
love
so
it.
like that's you're right. That's that. And I feel like that's the thing that's taken off. And and that's what I mean. So I want to give all the credit to Hideo for fucking doing it. And like I am extremely curious what he's gonna do now because he's pushed that out the door, and that's gonna make him some good cash. But the nature of the games business is, especially with games like Death Stranding that aren't games as a service. If you want to make money, you got to keep making.
You got to
games.
go on to that next.
You got to go straight on to the next idea. So what's he working on now? That's the question. And with Hideo, it's not like Cliffy B. Like Cliffy B, like he's a amazing game designer, but like he was a shooter guy, right? And he oh my god, fucking amazing shooters. But that's what he is. So when you go, what's the next game from Cliffy B? It's going to be a shooter.
And if he's smart,
but Hideo could do fucking anything. He could turn around and be like, I'm going to make a free-to-play Connect 3 game. And you'd be like, yeah, that's about right.
I think he's thoroughly, with his new production company, thoroughly leaning into Hollywood.
Yeah,
so the
I think
idea
so.
of like, now that he's a director.
But
for all intents and purposes, he's a director. He's a game designer as well in terms of developing it. But he's a director. He directs how everything takes place in the game. He is alongside other directors in Hollywood. And I think that's how he's... But
he's not a Hollywood director.
He's not. That's not what I'm saying. But he's going to follow the same suit. So
I don't think so. I think he's going to go art house. Like
you reckon he'll do a lot of different movies?
He's
a lot of different games, but shorter, but not AAA kind of style.
Not. Well, Death Stranding isn't a AAA style game. It's a AAA game, but it is not a AAA style game. Right? Think about Death Stranding and try and think about any game that's even remotely like it. And there really isn't.
No,
right?
fair enough.
But it is a AAA quality game, right? So I'm saying so that's kind of like a high production art house movie, right? So that's what I mean. Like, what does Hideo do next? I don't think he's going to be the Steven Spielberg. I think he's going to be like, an indie director, like a guy who does art house movies. M. Night Shyamalan has done some art housey shit. It's probably the closest comparison I can draw.
Maybe like a Steven Soderbergh, maybe.
Steven Soderbergh does, but at the same time,
he's already done. He did a group of short films for Steam.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey.
He did. Yeah.
Shit.
No, Neil Blomkamp. That's him. Neil Blomkamp. Because Neil Blomkamp does that. He makes movies in
really
Unity now.
Weird movies.
Yeah. Well, he made District 13, the Alien movie.
District 9.
District 9. Sorry, District
shit.
13 is a French movie that is an indie movie. Sorry, that's a parkour movie. District 9 and
13's a sick
he
movie,
did
man.
Chappie as well. With
Yeah.
Diane Atwood. Yeah.
The South African robot sci-fi flick.
Dude, that was fucking amazing.
This transmedia shit is amazing.
Yeah.
I love this. Oh my god! Like you see traditional Hollywood directors moving into so many different spheres, developing for Steam, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. You got Hideo, like you could see him do a lot of that kind of stuff as well. He's already done it essentially.
Well, that's what I mean. He's done Metal Gear Solid. That's your Hollywood movies, right? To take to do Steven Soderbergh. He did the Oceans movies, right?
Oh,
and
fucking excellent.
Excellent trilogy of films. Excellent trilogy, right?
Oh, you have an opinion on the
compared to the original Oceans movie, which was hot.
First one's in my top 5 favorite films of all time.
The original one from the 60s.
No.
Because that was hot garbage.
I agree. I think the first
Steven's Ocean's 11
is amazing.
It's fantastic.
Right, that's what I mean.
These are transitions to demonstrate narrative and scene is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I think 13 was better, but that's because...
I think we could have done without 12, though.
No, there's something about... what's
Oh, 12's my least favorite.
What's his name?
That's what I'm saying. We could have done
Who
without
played the
12.
bad guy in number 11? I completely forget his name.
That wasn't Al Pacino, was
no,
it?
it wasn't. No,
Al Pacino was in 13.
no,
It was,
Andy
Garcia.
Ah, Garcia, yeah.
It's Tim
I've never
Montana.
seen any of these movies.
What? Please do
Do yourself
a
a
favour.
flavor.
Oh my god.
Do yourself a flavour.
Do yourself
on-
a
they're-
flavor.
They're on
A
Netflix. In
flavour.
fact, better still, come to my
Flavour,
house and
flavour,
we'll just
flavour.
marathon them motherfuckers.
That's a great idea.
Oh my
I like
god.
that idea.
That's
on
a
a
movie
movie marathon.
Yes.
19. The Chicken Man.
Oh, the guy, like, dude, he owns that chicken shop in fucking Pakenham.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah, that
flavor
guy-
flavor bloke.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to
Mama's
him.
Chicken.
Because he was going out of business and like he made this little viral video and he went viral
Yeah.
and then like it saved his bit. I don't know if it's still open. but,
It's still
like,
there. It's
still
still
there.
there.
It's still kicking on. So there you
Yeah.
go. Good little promotion. Bit
He's
of
no
flavour,
longer viral,
flavour,
but it-
flavour.
but
It's
it
good.
worked.
Oh man.
But, like-
Sunrise jumped on it like hotcakes.
Oh yeah, I'll bet it was a fucking great video.
I got a
Fucking
shirt
great
from
gimmick.
there.
He did.
Project
He
did
went
as
down
well,
there and got a
actually.
photo with the guy.
I got a photo with the guy and I got a shirt.
Did you get his hat? You should have stolen his hat.
You were so happy when you got that photo as well.
He's a fucking absolute lad. Because,
He
like,
is.
Yeah.
dude, during that period, I went during the peak of that period when that video was, like, viral.
Yeah.
Right? And you go to that shop, it's in middle of nowhere, so I can understand why he was going out of business. Middle of fucking nowhere. Pakenham's like a desert. You go there. I went there, lines. Actual people had
How
traveled
was
from
the
across
food?
Melbourne. And the chicken is bloody exquisite. Exquisite. I'm surprised.
It's probably
this
just
location.
location.
It
It's
is
like-
just location is a reason why he was going out of business. Because that
Now-
chicken was brilliant.
Well, there you go. Now he's got hopefully now he's kind of known as a local spot and he can continue to push out some chicken. For
really is,
numerous years.
Absolutely. But like, so just get so we don't derail ourselves too much. Steven Soderbergh makes the Oceans, he does Hollywood, but now he's done that. He can go and do little art house shit, and I think Hideo's doing the same thing. He made Metal Gear Solid, right? And even though Metal Gear Solid 5 was like really bordering, it was like
Is Metal Gear Solid 5 the one with the zoo? You can make a zoo, like an animal barge, and have the helicopter play 80s music.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, cool. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but I just want to play it for those two things.
To be fair, actually, I would say Metal Gear Solid 4 is when he kind of started to go off the rails with the art house stuff because it had like, I think it was like a 3-hour cutscene. It's like the cutscene's longer than the actual video
I
game.
think that might be the end
That's-
of 2 as well.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was, yeah. Guns of the Patriots, I think, was like it's like more cutscene than game. It's that's what I mean. So like he's done the big Hollywood quote unquote thing. Now he can go and do these art housey sort of things, but he's bringing that Hollywood top tier quality of filmmaking or game making to the art house scene, and I think he's kind of like. But I wouldn't. Technically, he is, but I don't know if I'd actually call him an indie game developer.
No, I don't, because I think now that this game is done well and it's up for Game
Yeah.
of the Year,
Yeah.
his production company will be considered one of the top ones,
Yeah.
alongside like Naughty Dog and all those kind of ones as well.
Yeah.
Where they're already owned by like Sony and shit, but his one doesn't, which is I think
No,
to his
yeah.
credit, right? It means he has complete creative control.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of a rarity.
Yeah, especially in games,
Yeah. Mm.
especially
In games.
which is
Yeah.
surprising for the industry.
Yeah, no, you
because
think
you'd
that there'd be more, but they're often like with Microsoft buying up game studios, they have less of a say. And Sony doing the same thing. It's really cool to see a independent director be able to do what he did with Death Stranding without being an indie developer.
Yeah.
It's really an interesting concept.
Well, this is why Australia is on the map, because we
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have that American system where everything's owned by the big corporations. Here, every studio is an indie development studio. We can make whatever the fuck we want.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's just the only problem here is we don't have the subsidy to do it. We don't get the government funding.
Which is why
or the
Untitled
investment.
Goose Game is so incredible for
Yeah.
many reasons other than the game itself.
That's the thing. Like if you look at the list of games that have just kind of like gone viral, a good chunk of them are Aussie games.
They're Australian-made
They're
games.
Australian-made
Yeah.
games, right? You got Fruit Ninja, which went nuts everywhere. In fact, that went so nuts it just became like the mobile game and TV shows,
Yeah.
right? Crossy Road went crazy. Screen Sheet.
Screen
Is
Sheet went
LA
nuts.
all
Noir
over
the
the world.
most famous?
LA Noir is the
Australia.
most famous AAA to come out of Australia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bondi Studios or
Team-
something.
Team Bondi.
Team Bondi, yeah.
Which was owned by
Are they
Rockstar.
Still, are they still doing stuff?
No,
No,
they
they went under
They
immediately.
put LA Noir. They pushed LA Noir out the door and immediately closed down.
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they technically closed down before the game released.
No, yeah,
it
they
went
did.
gold and then they
Probably
closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those shady facial mechanics probably bankrupted the whole company.
No, Rockstar just fucked them over
Yeah.
because
Really?
because
That's
okay, so
it.
before the global financial crisis, the way
dark side of the game industry.
it was the like it was like
It was like the first worldwide sort of news about like how intense the game
Well, I
industry
think-
was.
Yeah.
Everything about crunch time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
That was when
crunch,
it first came to light.
I think
Yeah,
crunch,
crunch.
is coming.
Yeah.
Is becoming a very big
Yeah,
thing.
but
in
crunch
media.
kind of stemmed
Yeah.
from in sort of opinion of people from
Was it
Team Bondi and LA
StarCraft
Noir.
and stuff though that would have stemmed from the idea of crunch of
No,
putting it out. Or
So crunch.
I understand, so for people who don't understand what crunch is, it's essentially is it like the 2 week period or the month period before?
It can be even
It
longer.
could be,
Longer.
but it's the concept
It's the
of
period. It's the time between just the release, just before the release of the game comes out, and all the finalization.
That's one way of looking at it. Crunch is just essentially the easiest way to define it is you work from 9 to 5. It's just outside of those rounds as well.
Yeah.
So you work 9 to 5, and then they're like, no,
There's
crunch
no-
time.
and there's no
You're here for another
overtime.
3 more
Yeah.
hours. You don't get paid overtime though.
Oh,
But
it
it's
can be
like
longer than that.
crunch because we need to get this
You don't
game
leave
out.
until it's done.
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, with some of the Team Bondi guys, what would happen is one of the guys actually got yelled at because he was an hour late to work because he left the office 2 hours before. He went home, took a shower, got changed, and came straight back to work. And he was an hour late. And he was like,
Yep.
I was here though till 8 o'clock in the morning, so I don't have to be here at 9. And he got screamed at in front of everyone by his boss. Right? That's it was pretty brutal, but also I feel like it highlighted to the public at least, the way the Australian games industry was at the time, which was, if you look at the history of the Australian games industry prior to 2012, it was an American an Australian company would build itself up and be a nice little company. An American company would buy it and then run it into the ground. Right? And then sell off its pieces and buy another company is what would happen. Right? And so, and people think, oh, this is great, all this investment. It's like, they're destroying Australian companies, right? And we think this is a good thing, right? And then the global financial crisis happened and we were like, oh, no, this is terrible. Where's all the investment? What investment? We would have investment for a few months and then the money would dry up very, very quickly. Right? There was next to nothing, right? What we've got now, I would say, is a better system because we're in control of our own shit.
Far better.
Right? Now, is it perfect?
Yep.
Fuck no. Fuck no, it's not perfect. But I think it's a way better way of doing it than the way it used to be. That's for sure. Right? And again, and for me, I equate it to a bushfire, which I feel thinking about everybody who's been affected by bushfires and stuff, but a bushfire, especially in Australia, it'll go through and it'll burn back the bush.
Topical analogy.
It is very topical.
Very topical.
Very
Very
topical.
topical.
It's very topical.
The entire
But
room, as soon as you said bushfire, went.
Ooh, yeah,
Ooh.
right. But it is also a part of the Australian environment. We get bushfires, it burns back, and then you look afterwards at the forest afterwards, and it all grows back even better. In fact, there are certain plants that need to be burnt in order to propagate. Right?
Yeah,
And
that's a biological fact.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
And I think-
really interesting to see that.
Exactly. And I think that the Australian games industry did something similar. We got burned back by the global financial crisis, but as a result, we got all these little indie studios who made Fruit Ninja and Crossy Road and Untitled Goose Game and Screen Sheet and all these kinds of things, right? And so all of that came from this, and I think that's a really, really good thing.
And it seems like we're learning, I think, in
Yeah.
the games industry. We're developing, to create more regulation with how we treat
Yeah.
workers. And
Yeah.
even the schedule leading up to release and all this kind of stuff, and better ways to do with it more.
Yeah.
Because I think, as we understand, the games industry is mostly a intellectual based industry, so therefore you need to find ways to help employees deal with mental stress and stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
If your brain is your biggest tool,
You got to protect it.
you gotta make sure you give it, give it a nice bath, give it some R&R.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
Make
yeah.
sure you know how to deal with
Yeah.
it, because all the deals with stress especially during crunch,
Yeah,
it'd
absolutely.
be crazy.
Yeah. So that's right. So I think our industry is going to get only going to get better as a result.
And that's why I think that having PAX over here
Yeah.
is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because people often take it for granted, but it's the fact that the gaming industry worldwide sees Australia
Yeah.
worthy of
absolutely.
having one of
And-
the biggest game expos in the world below
Yeah.
it, similar to E3.
Yeah, yeah,
having
yeah.
one over here, which is incredible.
Yeah, and as a result, it brings Australian games to the world. And especially games you might not have. One of my favorite games, one of my favorite Australian video games ever is a game called Hacknet, right? Which is made by one guy in South Australia, and I think his name's Andrew. Oh god, I feel awful. I'm sorry, but the game's doesn't matter. The game's called Hacknet. It's on Steam. Go and buy it. It's always going. There's always a sale for it at some point. It's also on GOG and stuff. It's a fantastic hacking game, right? Like the guy was a fan of hacking games, and he went, "I'm going to make one," and it's fucking amazing, right? And it's got DLC and like user created quests, which are fucking awesome. And it's one of my favorite games I never would have heard of except for PAX. He had a booth of PAX, and I walked by it and I went, "This looks pretty fucking cool." And I went and I played it for a bit, and I was like, "This is awesome." And I chatted with him, and I bought it on the spot. I just and even then the payment processing machine didn't work, so I just pulled out my phone and I bought it on Steam right there in front of the guy. I just went, on the strength of this, I will buy this game. It's one of my favorite games ever made in Australia.
Just to be a bit of a devil's advocate for PAX though, it helps to like promote independent creation, and specifically Australia's PAX, it has the whole indie section, which is in of itself an entire room. Yeah, so that's how big we understand it. But it's also bad because they also mix AAA. AAA also comes to PAX as well. You get a lot of publishers who come to the indie people and go, "Great game, let me buy that off you. Here's money, wave it in front of you." And then like that, most people look at that and go, "Oh my God, validation for my work." Really, I'm giving up creativity at that point.
That's why I think that this year's PAX was a game changer. Yeah. Because I had some friends that presented at PAX in their PAX Rising section. And looking at the map and hearing from what they said, the AAA section was the smallest it had ever been. Okay. And PAX Rising was the highlight of the the whole thing for everyone.
Yeah, right.
As opposed to last year when they had maybe 3/4
of
what they had this year.
By areas and say what's.
But like the Nintendo showcase was pretty small and they only had Pokemon to show.
Yeah, right.
And Sony and Microsoft were there. And that was sort of in the one bit. Everything else was to do with talks with industry professionals in the indie section of the PAX Rising.
PAX Rising is always one of the biggest ones because it's our Australian market. Our industry is only independent creation. Yeah. There isn't a AAA studio here at all. So why would
no, there is. Yeah, Fire Monkeys. It's EA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true. Fuck, I forgot about Fire Monkeys. Yeah. But even them, like, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. There's hundreds of studios in Australia that make hundreds of games.
Yeah.
No other industry is like that. So PAX coming here and tailoring that to specifically this market is smart.
And it took them a while to get their stride with PAX as well, which I thought was really interesting. So like initially the first couple of years it came out, it was mainly AAA. Realized that wasn't working because people over here, they're like, "Oh, a new game's coming out. Excellent. I'll go play it for like 10 minutes and then leave. We have the Nintendo store and the EB Games on Swanston Street. That's when we play all the testers and stuff like that."
Plus, when PAX comes out as well, like all of that's already happening at E3 and Gamescom, and like all the major outlets have already put. So at this point, it's sort of just like, okay, well, yeah, you can just play it and that's it. And even then, you might not get to. So like, you're not providing.
So I think it's interesting seeing that particular part of the Australian industries and like the global industry kind of shifting to what Australia's game dynamic is like, which is really cool.
Yeah. So with video games and stuff in mind, coming up soon, just to move us along, coming up soon is the Game of the Year Awards with the Game Awards, and this is always something that Dave and I talk about very, very heatedly. This is like kind of a big deal for us.
I talk about this as heated as I do the Oscars. Like, I love this kind of like... because it's like any subjective medium that tries to do objectivity, I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love just pitting two things up against each other and just going, what's better than the other? Despite the fact, obviously, the subjective, so no shit, at the end of the day, we all go back like being like, oh, but you can't really make that comparison. They're different because they're their own thing. Like, okay, fair enough. But like, just to humor the entire world, do it. Yeah. And that's what this is doing. And I love that. So yes, go on.
So Game of the Year, right? This year, the nominees, and we won't know who the winners are until like early December, but the nominees are Control, Death Stranding, which we've talked a shitload about, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds are the nominees.
Well, I must say, I've only played 2 out of those games. And I haven't even played the most recent version of Smash Bros. So one of these games.
I've out of that list, I've only played Smash.
I know what
better than the other Smashes. Smash is just consistently a good game.
It's just more of the same.
I like Smash because I got my Ice Climbers amiibo and I main Ice Climbers because they're fucking brilliant. So I'm just happy that they're in the game.
And all of the fighters are in this one. So yes.
All of the Fire Emblems, my favorite game.
And let's be honest, no one really goes outside the realm of... If you have a Smash character that you've played with for years, you're usually not going to go outside the realm.
Oh yeah, unless you're competitive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah.
it's like that's my boy.
See, I'm a Mortal
and that's who I
Kombat
am.
fighting
there
game
are some-
person
there are-
myself, so I love Mortal Kombat.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah. And,
Give me some Sub-Zero. I'm all there, man.
oh dude, I kick your ass with noob. No.
Noob's
Who's the guy that teleports? Shit, what's his name?
In which one? 10 or 11?
10.
It's Noob.
Is it noob?
Yeah.
Who teleports? Yeah.
Noob Cybot.
Yeah. So yeah, noob's my guy, right?
See, I play Cyrax in 10, but I've been playing Sub-Zero in 11, and I've been kicking everyone's butt, and it's been incredible.
I like that Ultimate is on the Game of the Year list. I like
I
it.
like it
I
too.
don't. It shouldn't win. I like that
It
it's.
won't win. I
It
don't
won't
think it'll
win.
win.
It won't win, but it also shouldn't win.
But
No.
No.
Like it just shouldn't.
it's a different. It's looking at a different demographic of people.
yeah.
I
Hang on
want,
a
minute.
I want Outer Worlds to win, but I've got my money on Sekiro.
Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on, Dave. Wait. So why
And
shouldn't
there we go.
Smash win? Because okay, so here's the thing, right?
Because it's not in depth. Because it doesn't have a narrative.
but-
Because it doesn't.
But that's
but-
this
but
is
see,
this is where we're
game-
getting
see-
at once again subjectivity.
And that's the thing, because Dave just about fucking blew his top when Overwatch won Game of the Year a couple years ago,
Stand by it.
right?
Look,
Yeah.
but there's something like Overwatch, and I'll give it its credit.
Overwatch.
what it
mixed
did.
styles.
It mixed styles, and it was a phenomenon at the time.
Yeah.
Ultimate, like to its credit, my God, really good. Like great.
Same. It's just adding more things.
Yeah.
But what's it really done on top
Yeah,
of,
but
aside from the other game, then add
looking
every
at-
other character back and
Yep.
then just polish what they've already
Yeah,
done.
but yeah, looking back at the previous winners, you got God of War, Breath of the Wild,
And then that's where we get
Witcher
at it as
3.
well. Those
and at Overwatch, there's the outlier.
Well,
and I
hang on a
think that's
minute.
purely
You
because based
have-
on who it was up against, it was the best game.
Yeah. But it's not Witcher 3,
That's
it's
a
Witcher 3
multiplayer.
Wild
That's technically a
Hunt.
multiplayer.
I had a problem with that one because that's DLC, it's not a game. Even though the Wild Hunt had so much shit in it, it may as well have been Witcher 4.
Blood and Wine was also a big
Blood
one
and Wine
as
as
That
well.
was a bit stiff.
But again, they're downloadable content. They're add-ons to the Witcher 3.
they now
They're
have
not-
a DL content.
Yeah, and that's fair.
award.
Have it
Yeah.
best DLC, fucking A. I'm for it, but that's not a game. It's not
Those
Game of the
games,
Year.
the games she listed, are now
Yeah.
what we consider to be Game Award like catches. So you know how we have like Oscar movies,
Yeah.
where there's a very like
Yeah.
Locke can speak on this. We have Oscar movies, right?
Yeah.
Movies that you look
There's
at
a
and go.
certain formula.
There's a certain formula that every movie, if they're going to compete for an Oscar,
If you put God of War up against the game, like the movie, like an Oscar-winning film, you'll see the
yeah,
similarities.
there's similarities in
Yeah.
this narrative beats and how the stories are told out, right? That's now
Plus-
a
plus
There's
God of War is a
standard
beautiful
to the
game.
Narrative, the same as
Yeah.
with an Oscar.
Yeah.
film.
And that's
It
where
builds
like
towards something.
that's where like the Oscars also gets a bit stiffed as well, but that's where the Games Awards is heading. It's like we now have that formula too.
Yeah.
So we have developers deliberately doing what Death Stranding has done.
But this is the thing. It's a new medium. They have the ability to change.
Exactly, they do, and like whether it's bad that they're adopting the Oscar model now as opposed to looking at that and going, no, let's do something different. You can hit or miss deciding on what you want to do. I think
Yeah.
it's okay that they're adopting the Oscar model because it's existing already. But because they're so new, they can use that for a couple of years and then really polish that and build on further. So like while we still exist in this Game
Maybe
Awards
that-
slash
do
Oscar,
they lead? Is there like a People's Choice kind of?
Yeah,
I think that's how Game of the Year
Game
works.
of the Year works by popular vote, but also
on.
there's like an overlying,
Yeah.
like a panel get a vote as well.
Adjudication.
Yeah.
kind
Like
of
there's
thing.
popular
in
vote
that-
counts, but the main one does come down to the adjudication of actual industry experts.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, in that list of games that are nominated, there are 4 that fit that Oscar formula.
Yeah, very much so.
And
See, I don't
2
like
of
that
them do
closed
not.
door.
No, there's a
kind
bunch of
of
categories you
idea.
can vote on. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can vote
there's a
on.
fuck ton.
You can vote on
I
every
am all
one.
about the strategy game category.
Okay, well, let's have a look at
I
that then.
love
Art direction,
everything in
audio
that.
design, community support, content creator of the year, esports,
really-
esports coach,
And-
esports
oh,
events.
I love that. I love that.
Esports.
Where-
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. There's a whole other category. Esports game of the year. They've split it out. Remember how we were like Overwatch? This is okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's look at who's
That
on
would
there.
make more sense.
Okay, hang on.
Overwatch.
So
Yeah.
Something
right
like-
off the bat, this is bullshit, right? Esports Game of the Year and the first 2 nominees are Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2. Those games did not come out this year. Fuck off. They can't be counted, right? At Fortnite, didn't that technically come out last
But this
year?
is where this
Depends what
medium.
League of
season of
Legends
Fortnite.
and Overwatch. What the fuck?
But this is where Locke was right, is like because this is an industry that is so different. It's different than movies because movies, like
Especially
aside
running
from a
into
sequel,
seasons now, because Fortnite runs in seasons.
not even just like Fortnite, you can't. Let's say I make Godfather, and aside from making Godfather 2, I just remake Godfather 1, but then add 5 more scenes.
Yeah.
Does that get now nominated for next best
No.
picture? It doesn't. Same with this, right? But now they're using that because that's
But
how
this
the
is like
industry
a sequel.
exists.
There's the thing
And
that
they're
they
also
consider
consider
it
using
a
that
sequel.
because they're the most popular esport games.
They are.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like that doesn't meet any sort of a reasonable
But-
criteria
no,
for
but
a
the
X of
because
the
it
year.
wasn't developed within the year.
Yeah,
But
was it
even-
released within
this
the
is
year?
why
Yeah.
they get like it. I agree with you, and I agree with Locke at the same time. There needs to be a bit more clarity on what gets considered in that
Yeah.
category because developing that throughout the year is essentially equivalent to making that game kind of like continually polishing it to make it
They
as
probably
good as
do
it
need to
was.
subdivide it, I think, once again.
Yeah,
They
that's
need
true.
to-
But aside from making a sequel, which I just think wouldn't be fair, they're doing enough updates to the game to warrant
Maybe
enough
do it-
change to make it still competitive
Yeah.
within esports throughout the year anyway.
Maybe
Yeah.
do an ongoing category or something.
Yeah, maybe an ongoing. But the thing is, like, there are other esports games that do get made, and a lot of them just go nowhere. And so, like, I feel like what we're doing is we're effectively burying those for the ones we already know.
Yeah.
But
It's
strategy
recycling
games.
the same things. Yeah.
So found that. So JJ, here we go. Here are your nominees: Age of Wonders, Planetfall, Anno 1800, Fire Emblem Three Houses, Total War Three Kingdoms, Tropico 6,
Tropico's amazing.
and Wargroove.
Wargroove is an incredible game.
By
I love
Chucklefish.
Wargroove.
Oh, alright.
Do you reckon Fire Emblem gets it? But like, it's hard because Fire Emblem also was a brilliant
See,
narrative game.
as
Civ's
a
gonna bring out another
game,
game.
as a strategy game,
It has to be. As
I
a
think that
strategy
Wargroove
game.
will win
There you go.
because in everything down to the essence of what a strategy game is,
Yeah.
Wargroove hits everything on the head in regards to game design, music design, like story and game.
Yep.
It's just incredible. I love that game.
And that's why, like, I don't.
But
Fire
that's
Emblem
why
shouldn't win.
I'm pissed off that Fire Emblem got snubbed for Game of the Year because that came out of the gates. No one was expecting it to do well for anyone who wasn't already a Fire Emblem fan.
If you had to
and
dip
they
one,
hit that ball out of the park.
That's true.
if you had to dip one and then put Fire Emblem in its place, what would you get rid of? Because I think those selections, and I'm just my bias, like love.
Easy
I love
Smash.
Yeah, I would get rid of
Yeah, you get
Smash
Smash.
because
Ditch
it
Smash.
just doesn't.
Yeah, you
fit
get rid of
the mold.
Smash and chuck Fire Emblem there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've
It's not
played that
innovative,
game for
it's just-
over 120 hours. Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I
Nice.
played through it 3 times.
Fucking
and I'm
A.
still going to play through it twice more.
Shit.
And
yeah.
that game has so
No
much
spoilers.
to offer in regards to sort of gameplay,
Yeah.
story, and it completely flipped the already existing franchise on its head
Yeah,
by
I agree
making
with
it
that.
open world.
I agree. She just made a really good point. So at that point, you get rid of Smash.
Yeah.
Because to everything we've just said, Smash does
fits
not
the formula
do that.
for Smash.
Smash is like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You get it every year.
Yep.
And it comes as a base. You know what you're
Yeah.
getting, but you might add some new tinsel on it every year and
Yeah.
make it more prettier. But
Well, that's
it's
the thing.
still a
Oh,
Christmas
reliable.
tree.
So
It's every
reliable.
2K game that's ever come
That's
out.
what I was going to say.
Don't
The
get me
argument.
into that because I'm a big.
The
you know,
ar-
No, it's
sucker.
look. So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
I'm also done with
I'm
it now.
done with it. I'm after 2K20. I'm done. I'm not getting any
I
more.
agree. There we go.
I'm done.
I'm with it now as well.
Sweeping
I haven't-
declaration.
I'm with you on the sweeping declaration. I haven't bought the last 2 years worth of 2K games.
I bought.
Fuck off. You
I haven't. Look at my
They
fucking
just
game
keep-
library.
They
I
keep
haven't bought the
releasing
last 2
broken
years.
games. I'm sick of it.
No, I'm with you. No, but
And the
I'm
servers
pretty
are
sure you got
trash.
the NBA 2K
Yep.
last year, didn't you? You got the collector's
Oh, I
edition.
did. I bought it a year after it came out, and then I played it for 5
Oh,
minutes.
John,
okay. You still bought
You,
it.
for a gamer, you hate
Yeah.
waiting, correct?
I'm not a big fan. Yeah,
So,
but no,
2K
I'm familiar.
John
with-
speaks just for himself and not the
just
industry.
for listeners,
Apparently.
one of the major game devices for 2K is obviously the playground aspect, where it's just all multiplayer and it's
Yeah.
just an open scape of basketball courts. It takes me probably 20 minutes just to get a game.
Yep.
Just because there's so many issues of ranking, because the servers aren't done by skill based. So you got people who just don't want to play with you because you're not a high enough level yet to be effective.
Yep.
And then you've got server issues, not enough buffering. It's just horrendous.
Oh yeah.
Shit game.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of issues with the 2K.
The NBA Live needs to start making better games. EA,
yeah.
get on it.
That's where now the industry is, because 2K has existed in this formula for so long. Other developers are looking at this going.
The NBA has literally said, "Well, you should buy 2K.
Have
2K
you?
is our game." Like,
Yeah,
it's
but
bad
like,
when a
but
whole
okay,
sports
but look at
association
FIFA, because FIFA
grabs
had
it.
the same problem. FIFA, the newest FIFA has like similar issues. Not as bad as 2K, mind you, but FIFA it feels like it's just a copy and paste of FIFA 19, which was a pretty fucking good game. But FIFA 20 is just like straight up like exploitative, like it's almost criminal with the way that they've used it, making loot boxes and shit for things, right? Even though, and I say this as a fan of FIFA Ultimate Team, right, which was like loot box central, but like it was a good fucking game mode, right? But like I feel like all the arguments for, if we go back to just game of the year,
That's fine.
all the arguments for Smash Bros. You could swap out Smash Bros in that list and put in FIFA 20, NBA 2K20, WWE 20. Doesn't matter. You put any of those games in there, and the arguments would all be the same. Like so realistically,
Another one of their criteria probably also is sales. Like you don't look beyond that too.
and Smash would have sold.
And that's why
fucking A.
Smash probably
Yeah.
even gets in that consideration.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
because it did sell.
if anything, I think Luigi's Mansion 3 should be in there. Instead
Yo,
of
that is
Smash.
such a.
You can literally, I'll agree with you on
Game.
anything. You can literally name anything because I don't actually think Smash should be on there at all.
No.
It should be in its fighting game category, and
I
that's it.
think, I think a Nintendo game should be
Nin-
on that
if
list, but Smash is not
Nintendo-
that game.
I agree.
If
Yeah.
Nintendo just re-released Mario Sunshine on Switch, they'd have a moneymaker.
Yeah.
I love that game.
That's
Or,
how-
or redid, if they redid Metroid properly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which they are
Well,
they're
then, hold on, that
doing a new
leads-
Metroid
then that-
game on Switch, from what I recall.
But then that begets the other
Are they
question:
doing a side scroller one, or is it like the first person one, like the one on the game?
Are they making a whole new one?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay,
right.
that's different. Because then John brought it up earlier about, why is Resident Evil 2 on there?
Yep.
Because it's an old IP. Does it deserve to be within Game of the Year?
Okay,
And I
so
was like,
my thought was, I thought what it was, just because this is important to what you're about to say. What I thought was going on was that I thought Resident Evil 2 was a remaster of the original Resident Evil 2, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, right? This is like you've cleaned it up a bit, you've painted the walls, and you've scraped off some of the
It's a
mold.
revamp.
It's not a new game. Like
No.
a Game of the Year is about new games.
yeah. And to what I was talking about with John,
Yeah.
it's a remake.
Yeah.
Now, but then there's still question, because I agree with with your logic. It's a remake based on the old IP. So it has, in essence, the exact same game, but it's completely different mechanics, completely different art style, completely different direction, same characters, same storyline.
The source is there.
The source IP is the same. And the original Resident Evil 2 was
Yeah.
up for Game of the Year in 97.
No, it's got the same brain, but
Yeah.
a completely different body that's
Completely
built from the
different.
ground up.
Yeah.
And for me, that makes it different enough to say, okay, this is a Game of the Year contender. Because otherwise the argument then becomes, well, what about the Final Fantasy VII remake, which is literally a ground up rebuilding because they don't have the source code,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? In fact, I'd be even prepared to entertain, not accept, but entertain the argument that any Final Fantasy VII remaster, Final Fantasy VIII remaster, could be submitted for Game of the Year because we don't have the source code. You have to reverse engineer the shit out of the thing. Same with Diablo 1. They had to completely reverse engineer it. They don't have source code.
Have a different angle on Resident Evil 2 being on there, because
Okay.
I've never played
Yeah.
any of the old Final Fantasy games, any of the
Yep.
old Resident Evil games, any of the old Diablo games. So for me, if they're remade
Yep.
on a platform that I use, I consider that to be a new game.
Okay.
So for me, I'm like,
It is by a
Resident
new
Evil
game.
2
It's a
for
new
me is like a
experience
new
for you.
experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never played it before, and I'm like, I don't know what happens. I know the series, I know it exists, but I don't know that particular game. So for me,
Yeah.
I consider it to be a brand new game, which is why I'm like, I'm okay with it being on the Game of the Year nomination.
And just piggyback off that, I love the franchise. I grew up with this franchise. I played them all.
Yeah.
To me, playing this and then juxtapositioning it against the original, it's a new game.
Did you play the GBA version, the tactics?
Yeah, dude, I've played all the Resident
that's
Evils.
that's
I
bro.
love
Dave-
the IP.
Dave is a Resident
I
Evil
know you
mark.
do.
I love the IP.
love
Did you,
it.
did you get the GameCube version with the chainsaw controller?
No, I didn't get the chainsaw
What?
for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Is that
No,
a
I didn't get the
thing?
chainsaw
Yeah.
controller. But
What?
I have. So Resident Evil 4 has to be like the Resident Evil series. Actually, fun fact, has to be pound for pound. Now Final Fantasy wins because there's so many more titles. But pound for pound has to be the most remastered title ever. Because it's existed on every generation, specifically the first Resident Evil has existed on every generation since the 90s and is remastered for every console. I can't name another game, potentially Final Fantasy.
No, maybe
Sonic?
No, Sonic
No,
or Doom.
Sonic.
Probably Doom, actually.
Yeah, Doom's probably.
Doom, which got PC release, and then it also got a PS1 port, and it was also on
Resident Evil would have done it first.
N64. No,
Because
Depends.
Resident Evil,
When did Resident Evil come out?
was PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, Xbox. I can literally get it on every console.
Doom skipped PS2, and it was on the.
And
Xbox
I'm talking this
360.
one IP. So
That's why I get pissed when people said that Mario was the most universal IP. Like, it's literally only on Nintendo
literally only
branded
on-
And that's
consoles.
the thing
and I'm
as
like,
well, like-
Mario is one of the most recognizable video game icons.
Yeah.
Is it a all round everywhere IP? No.
No.
Which is stupid. Like, it makes me really angry.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is the argument more relevant now that Mario has mobile games?
I think they're having. I have
Okay.
Mario Kart on my phone now,
Yeah, yes, so do I.
so I'm like,
I think another thing for that, and especially with Pokemon as well, is that it broke out of games really early in its
yes,
lifetime.
no, it
Yeah.
did.
It went into television. Well, actually, did Pokemon start the anime? Started as an anime, then became a game.
No, it started as the game.
Started as a game
Like,
first.
the
Okay.
first couple of
And then
gens came
Shonen-
out, then
and
it was
Shonen
the-
Jump grabbed it and then they made it into a manga. And then I think
Didn't it start out as a card game? I thought the card game.
the
came
card
first.
game was first.
And you had card games as well.
no,
There
I
you
think
go.
you are
Like,
right. I think the card game was first.
I think the card game was first because
Card-
Nintendo
whatever
itself was a
happens-
card game company. I know.
Yeah,
and then I
eventually,
think
yeah.
that
No, yeah, it was card
and
game.
they took the idea, added the narrative,
Game Boy.
made the game, and
Then
then
it
I
was the
think
show.
Shonen Jump made the manga, and then I think it became the TV series.
Yeah.
after
Pokemon
that.
has to be one of the most transmedia IPs from games.
That-
Yeah,
Like-
I think
that of
Pokemon's
Digimon, I
more
think Digimon
universal than
might be-
Mario.
No, but I think Pokemon's done it. I think they might have done
Yeah,
in terms of
similar.
like just being on something. Yes, but I think
Pokemon's probably
Pokemon's
done it more.
Pokemon's had multiple movies, multiple
yeah.
games, multiple different card iterations.
Pokemon Snap is still
Like-
to be the dumbest thing ever made.
I
Surely.
love it.
Have you played have you played the entirety of the game, or have you
No.
just played the demo?
I've played
the whole
I've
thing.
played a little bit.
I played the whole
I
thing
love-
on
I
my
love
mate's Nintendo 64 when I was like 11 years
Yeah.
old. Took like 4 hours.
Yeah,
He's got to take photos of Pokemon. It doesn't take long.
it's a
like
cute little game. That's the
There's like
point.
100
Yeah.
It's a simple game, bro.
116 photos. You've done in 20 minutes. Good. Done and dusted.
It's like for me that's the equivalent. It's Pokemon Go. Like Pokemon Go, you just walk around and then click on Pokemon. That's it.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Go has become a little bit more in depth, I think.
Pokemon Go is like I actually thought it died after 2016, but no, it's like
It had a
still
little-
kicking.
It's coming back. It's coming
just
back.
been underlying, just like
It's simmered.
little groups.
Is
and
that
yes.
probably the only Pokemon IP that has all of the Pokemon in it?
It is. I'm pretty sure.
Don't even get me started
Oh,
on
no.
Dexit.
Oh,
Oh,
yep.
I'm salty.
I know you are.
They did.
Have you not
fix-
heard of it?
Dexit.
No,
Dexit.
Dexit.
I haven't heard the word. I know what you're talking about.
Dexit.
I'm salty over Dexit.
Pokemon Go
They've
is
cut
safe from Dexit.
400 Pokemon in the new iteration because, and look, I get it. Because
Wait a
I
minute. Wait a
get-
minute. Wait a minute. Is Butterfree still in it?
Yes, Butterfree's
Yes,
in it. I
Butterfree's
caught it
in
the
it.
other day. No,
Oh,
no.
then I don't
Is
give a shit.
Beedrill? Is Beedrill still in
I
it?
haven't seen Beedrill. Now, they've cut basically Gens 2 and 3, which are the best gens, in
No,
my opinion.
I disagree.
I love Beedrill.
Gen 1 best.
Gen 1 has my heart, but Gen 2
But-
and 3 have like the soul of Pokemon in my opinion.
Butterfree is the single best Pokemon in any video game ever, and I'll throw hands for that.
Oh, well,
Like,
that's-
fucking fight me on this.
Beedrill.
Butterfree is the best
Beedrill.
Pokemon ever.
Beedrill. Beedrill.
Right?
It's Mewtwo.
Butterfree is Bay. Butterfree is
Liddy
life.
Cola is just.
Oh,
like-
dude,
if I was a Pokemon, I'd be Liddy Cola.
You 100% would be.
But
Do I just automatically
this is
get-
not turning into the Pokemon cast. Come on, everyone.
The Pokecast.
Just
Pokecast?
before we switch
Yeah,
off, would I
probably-
just automatically be Marchamp? Like,
Yes.
Do you just think it's just okay? Fair enough.
Oh, I don't know.
I think I'd be Oddish if I was a
You're
Pokemon.
gonna be an
Yeah, you
Alakazam.
reckon?
I think I'd be
Why would I
Oddish.
Alakazam?
I reckon you might be.
Yeah, actually, you know
No,
what?
yeah, no, you're an
Yeah,
Alakazam.
I'm vibing on the Alakazam more.
And not
yeah.
Machoke?
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
Alakazam.
You have more
Yeah.
of a not snooty, but just arrogance.
yeah, yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
We're
Alakazam
gonna
has.
we're gonna talk after the podcast.
I love you.
Fuck off.
I'm getting so.
Is Oddish still in the game?
Yes. I don't know.
Oddish is
Dexit.
incredible.
It's Gen
Dexit,
1.
everybody. We're
Oh,
skipping
I
Pokemon.
don't like Dexit.
The one
Dexit's
thing I
mean.
do like, what they did fix about what has been a big gripe for me in the Pokemon series for years is the fact that like when you enter sections that all the Pokemons will be to the level, but apparently in the new one that they have like
Oh, that's scales.
it's
It
scales,
It
yeah.
has massive scale.
Gameplay wise, they've done. If anything, you know what? I'd even throw out Smash and throw in the new Pokemon
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it fits in terms of what Nintendo has done this year, aside from Luigi's Mansion. A Game Award winning worthy narrative. It
Yeah.
has a narrative to it, a very clear cut story. Its gameplay is completely different to other Pokemon games. It's completely revamped it, new art style and everything as well. To me,
And
it
it's good.
deserves
It's
the
the
position.
three houses of Pokemon. Like
It
the
kind
three
of
Yes.
houses,
is. It kind of is. Yeah, they revamped it, and they didn't revamp it just for the sake of revamping it. They were like, no, this gameplay style doesn't make
They
sense
didn't
anymore.
break. They didn't break the wheel.
Exactly. Yeah, they were like,
They just
It was
changed the
broken,
cog slightly.
and they fixed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, we need to update this for the modern era, for modern audiences. Like, how do we do that? And they did.
Well, because you could tell that the demographic they were buying, obviously all of the
Yeah.
Pokemon games, were starting to get into the older, more like 16-year age range.
Yeah, yeah.
Need a revamp for the
Yeah.
12-year-olds again.
Exactly.
Make it fresh for
But
the...
not only that, but it's also
For the
like
market.
understanding the technology that's available now. Like Pokemon had always been basically the same because it ran on really shit hardware.
Yeah.
Like the Game Boy was by no means fantastic hardware, except that it was portable and it shat all over.
So true.
we were just
Sega.
okay with just dealing with that for
I was
way
gonna
too
say,
long.
that's so true. Like I actually,
Yeah.
when I was playing this one for the first 10 minutes, I'm sitting back going like, this isn't right for
Like,
me.
I was playing a
Like-
Game Boy Color in like 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
this isn't Pokemon for me. I need that shitty 8-bit graphics
Yeah.
and the fucking shit soundtrack.
So do I. Like, I started playing. I bought my sister's 3DS and I picked up Pokemon X because I was
it's
like,
brilliant.
I haven't played it. I haven't played a new Pokemon game in about a
it's
decade.
weird, isn't it?
It's so
It's
weird,
isn't it?
It's weird because that's the first one where they went to that sort of like third-person view, and I'm like, if this was called, Monster Hunter's Pocket Edition, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a cool game. But because it's called Pokemon, it's inherently weird, right? Yeah, I need. But you know what they need to do?
You get used to it though.
Fuck, you know what they should do? Holy shit, this would.
Remake Pokemon Stadium. Yeah.
Yes, I
know.
could not agree more.
Yes, yes.
Fuck, Pokemon Stadium was
See,
lit.
I'm still
Do
waiting for
it.
Digimon to have its ultimate revival.
Oh,
I love Digimon.
Sick IP in its first 2 seasons.
It was. Yeah, its first 2 seasons were fucking lit.
Yeah.
But what I reckon, you know what I reckon Pokemon should do? They should take advantage of the fact that they've got like the grown-ups, like basically do what Harry Potter did and release like the grown-ups version, where they had like grown-ups looking covers. You do that with Pokemon. You go, okay, you motherfuckers want 8-bit graphics. Well, we can slap that together with a couple of interns and make a mobile game and do Pokemon Yellow as a mobile game.
Well, have you
right?
Give me an MA Pokemon game.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone made as a gimmick, made an Australian
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon Yeah Nah. Yeah, it's
and
fucking
nah.
Pokemon,
awesome.
yeah, nah,
Oh,
and I dig it.
that's legit.
Batter and
That's
Shazza.
a
Yeah.
game you thought about. It's
Holy
like-
shit.
They put actual art and
It's
design into
conceptual.
that.
This is the thing. It's conceptual. It's actually very.
That's because the guy's a
smart. I
shoot
like it.
concept artist. Like
Yeah.
that's what he does for a living, and this was his side project. And like, oh my fucking god. But with that, we'll wrap it up there with like,
We didn't even get through like half of it.
Oh, but they're on to you, yeah, nah.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like we've discussed a lot. I feel like we went to some interesting places. Like, I apologized. I got something off my chest, which is nice. Achieved some more
Bit of
growth.
character
I
development
learned
for
some
John.
more,
Bit of
I
character
learned
development.
some more about games because honestly, I don't know
Yeah.
enough, and it's always nice to learn
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Welcome to our industry, buddy.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
always good.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I was here for this episode.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here, JJ.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no, thank you. I was going to say thank you all for joining me for this episode. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dan Goulding because we talked a lot about video games, and basically like 3/4 of what I know comes from his lectures.
Yeah,
So,
Papa Dan.
yeah, shout out to Papa Dan.
Just wrapping up to the end of November. If people have been knowing, Movember's been going on. A lot of boys, men out there growing mows. Ladies not shaving their underpits. I've also heard have been going on for Movember. So spreading.
I can say that
news
I
and
have not,
awareness
but I have not been doing
about,
that.
Thank you for reminding
mental
me.
health everywhere. So
Yeah.
let's do this,
Shout out.
guys.
I had
Shout out.
to
Shout out.
shave my mo.
Yeah,
That's
I was going to say
no,
you because
it's all
you
good.
had the dirty mo, like
I was-
the dirty mo.
I was doing pretty well.
You were doing pretty well.
was
Like
doing
I'm
pretty
proud of
well.
you, Dave. Like he had the dirty mo of like if you can imagine
Mine's
picture
a very dirty mo.
like
right
everybody
now,
at home, close your eyes and picture in your mind when I say the words dirty mo, what that means, right?
It's
And what
thin,
that looks
wispy.
like. Feel it. That is what Dave had. It was perfect. It really was. I mean, seedy as fuck, and like, yeah,
Oh, it was so
like,
seedy.
December 1st, it needed to come
It
up.
was terrifying.
But up until
It was
that point, it was
terrifying.
Like,
beautiful.
it was so bad you could buy house and land packages in between the hairstyles.
Oh, God, you want to talk about buying a house and land package?
I know.
You want to hold on? You want to talk buying
know
house?
I know I have a reverse Hitler mustache.
You want to talk buying house and land package? Like we're gonna put a photo of your mustache on the fucking Pint Party page, and you tell me what the fuck that is between there. You could fit an island between your two fucking mustaches. And with that, that's Pint Party. Cheers.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. That's it. Dave's
David
done.
leaves the room.
Oh my god. So
It's like two caterpillars trying to meet. I do have the reverse Hitler. I understand that. It's all fine.
the reverse Hitler.
That's the
It
thing.
just won't get in the middle. It sucks.
See, I do Movember like every day. So
I've got photos of my mustache. We're gonna put them side by side.
We
Yours
should.
now, mine, and we're gonna rate whose is better.
Yep. No, that'll
on
go
a
up.
scale of dirtiness.
that'll go
Alright.
up. I'll put that up. I'll throw them up
out
on.
of 5 kicks of dirt.
Yeah, absolutely. That's gonna go up next week. And you know what? I'll put mine up as like the control. Right? It's like
Can
okay,
I
so
draw
I'm the
myself a
baseline.
mustache so I can fit in as well?
can be-
Fucking
Little
A.
Charlie Chaplin one, just
Thanks.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a curly one, obviously.
But also, we mentioned earlier in the show, it was a bad analogy, but an analogy nonetheless, or a bad example of the bushfires that's happening in Australia right now. Hope everyone's doing it tough. Just want to shout out to everyone that's supporting people in affected areas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And, is there anything we can do? Any JJ, do you have any websites? That
I will
people-
say something that people can do is just keep an eye on where the fires are and stuff, and
Look on
like,
your CFA local
Yeah.
Look out for
websites
local
on hot
wildlife.
days.
Yep, look out for local wildlife and
Put
all that.
some
But
water
also,
out.
like once it's all done and dusted, these towns will need your business. So please go to these little towns and give them your patronage. Go and visit the little cafes and the restaurants, and go and spend your money in the countryside, because that's
Spend
what,
your weekends in the outdoors.
that's it. Go out there. Go book yourself a hotel
Which is
room.
funny because we just talked about games for
Yeah.
an hour. But
I know. Well, bring your Switch with you. Fucking drive out. Pick a
Pokemon
direction.
Go's an outdoor game, guys.
That's it. Yeah, Pokemon Go's an outdoor. Pick a direction and just drive yourself out into the bush. Find yourself a little country town, right? And again, like I said, as soon as it's all over, the danger's past, right? These towns will need your economic stimulus, and that's what. If you're planning a holiday now for your summer, plan a holiday in the countryside. Anywhere in Australia, doesn't matter, right? I mean, look, I'm biased. I'm going to say go to Violet Town, because I think it's a really great little town where my mum lives and she really needs the business. But like, you could go out to Echuca, where Ricky's people are, because they'll need the business, or like central New South Wales,
even Gippsland.
Gippsland Gips. I mean, yeah, all right, Gippsland
For a day drive.
all right, yeah, for a day drive, right? I mean, this is all in Victoria, but like, go out to New South Wales or Queensland or something as well.
Hanging Rock.
Right, yeah, or out, find yourself out back and beyond of Western Australia or something. By all means,
Get
those
amongst
towns
it,
will need you.
mate.
And if you like this episode, please tell a friend about it. We're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, or anywhere you like to listen to podcasts. Check us out on Instagram, and let me know what you think about the meme that I posted. That meme, by the way, of
very proud.
the Ricky skateboarding meme.
Very
right,
proud.
I'm actually honestly surprised that I haven't heard from Ricky yet. I thought he'd be a bit kind of like pissy at me about it, but he hasn't said anything yet. So like, I'm very, very curious to hear his opinion on that meme, and I think we'll find that out next week. And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
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 This podcast is part of the Hard Effect Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to hardeffectstudios.com.au.